I recently finished my third book titled The Sales Manager's Guide to Greatness. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about what makes the difference between a sales manager that does poorly, one that does just okay, and one that really excels. And the one factor that has the biggest impact on a sales manager's success is his or her ability as a sales coach. Recent research tells us that effective coaching is part quantity and part quality. To improve the amount of time you spend coaching, you need to take back control of your time, as I describe in another video. To improve the quality of sales coaching, you need to refocus yourself where your involvement can have the greatest impact over the long term with your salespeople. Here are 3 suggestions to make that happen. Number 1, don't coach based solely on a scorecard. I love the game of golf, and I'd really like to get better at it. Suppose you were a golf professional. If I was to hand you a scorecard from one of my recent rounds of golf and asked you what I needed to do to get better, you can't really help me. That's because the scorecard only tells you the aftermath of what I did. It doesn't tell you why. My score on the scorecard was the result of the good and bad swings and decisions I made when I was playing. So any feedback that you give me based on my scorecard will be flawed. It's based on inaccurate information. And therefore, I'm not going to be very motivated to implement your coaching. The same is true with sales coaching. When sales managers try to coach salespeople based on sitting down once a month or once a quarter, reviewing their numbers and making suggestions, those suggestions are largely worthless to the salesperson. So get deeper than that. Focus on the input side of the sales performance equation. That's where your coaching can have the greatest positive impact. Number 2, coach earlier in the sales cycle. All too often, we sales managers start paying attention too late to really help. Managers often wait until the demo or the close step of an opportunity before reviewing the status of a deal, and this causes real problems. If a salesperson isn't developing customer needs or influencing the customer's application, well, there's nothing you can really say at the 11th hour as the sales manager to change that. So any advice that you offer late in a sales cycle has minimal impact on the deal at best. And it's often seen by your salespeople as criticism, not coaching. Number 3. Focus more on identifying your reps' skill deficiencies. Now you might be thinking, well, duh, but hang on a minute. In 2014 and 2015, the Sales Management Association did some research in terms of how often sales managers discussed 13 different topics when they were coaching their salespeople. The kicker is that they also looked at the connection between each topic discussed and revenue growth. By a wide margin, the number 1 topic for impacting revenue growth was identifying skill deficiencies. So therefore, we would hope that out of the 13 topics we discussed with salespeople while coaching, that identifying skill deficiencies was ranked near the top, right? Wrong. It actually came in number 12 out of 13. That means talking about skill deficiencies happened far less often than things like crafting proposals, discussing sales opportunities, and even behind number 11, instruction on administrative processes. My point is this: if you aren't identifying the skill deficiencies of each salesperson on your team, you aren't coaching for revenue growth. So how do you become a great sales coach? Implement these 3 suggestions. Again, don't coach based solely on a scorecard. Coach earlier in the sales cycle, and focus more on identifying your reps' skill deficiencies. When you implement these 3 suggestions, you'll be much further along your way in terms of taking your team to the top.